The author Frederick Buechner quips about the Christmas message. The Creator of the ends of the earth comes among us in diapers. Martin Luther paints a graphic picture of the significance of this night. Here is the child in whom is salvation. To me, there is no greater consolation given to humankind than this, that Christ became a human, a child, a babe, playing in the lap and at the breasts of his most gracious mother. For 4 weeks now, we have been warming up to the hope-filled visions of the prophets. We've dreamed of a day when the inhospitable desert will be transformed into a lush garden. We've longed for the day when God will bring comfort to a scattered and discouraged people. We've anticipated the day when those formerly disabled and hurting will dance their way home on a level highway paved for them across the landscape. We've been promised a child from David's line who would come to love us, free us, and be among us, bridging all personal and social distances. And after all this waiting, what do we get but a little Jewish baby? What's the meaning of the arrival of a baby? Well, the little town of Bethlehem may not be as still as the song paints it. To put it bluntly, babies mean an intrusive presence into the lives of their caretakers, as most parents will testify. Oh yes, we use terms like family planning, but the truth is that virtually everything changes with a baby's arrival, and everything cannot be planned for. Life as we had known it or gotten used to changes and will never be the same with a child. A baby has invaded our lives. In the majority of cases, it is a welcome intrusion, is it not? It is an intrusion as utter gift. Whether received biologically through the sexual union of partners, sometimes aided by fertility treatments and test tubes, or through bureaucratic adoption processes, often involving foreign governments, the baby comes finally only as a gift from beyond ourselves. We welcome the child with a sense of sheer giftedness, with incredible joy mixed with awe-filled responsibility for the sign of new life entrusted to us. For God to have chosen to enter our world as a baby, as the weakest and most vulnerable of creatures, says a great deal about God. It's either a colossal act of foolishness on God's part, or the clearest and most radical sign possible of God's intention to use our very created, lowly humanity, our flesh and blood, as the instrument of salvation for the world. What does this mean? It means that God's work is not that of a strong man. God has chosen not to crash in upon us from above with conquering armies. God has not chosen to overwhelm us with raw power. But instead, God has chosen to underwhelm us and our world by intruding from below and within as a baby, given the name Emmanuel, God with us. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, pastor and martyr, makes plain the truth of this holy night. God became a child. Here he is, poor like us, miserable and helpless like us, a person of flesh and blood like us, our brother, and yet he is God. He is might. But where is the divinity? Where is the might of the child? In the divine love in which he became like us. So what is the meaning of the Christ child for us tonight at the end of a long and arduous year of sickness, sadness, loneliness, and uncertainty? God wants that special place in our hearts, that nursery chamber in our souls, where God seeks welcome and refuge and love in the midst of our anxious world. God does not coerce or demand our welcome, but wins it freely from us like a baby placed in our arms. What a beautiful intrusion and interruption of holy love. It causes us to sing in the tender words of Luther's hymn, which was written to serve as a pageant for his family Christmas celebration in 1534. Listen to this little part of the hymn. Ah, dearest Jesus, holy child, prepare a bed soft, undefiled, quiet chamber set apart for you to dwell within